Ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome here March 15th. Tommy, I know we're always excited to be at Bakersfield, the second night of the season. What can we expect tonight? A ton of divisions.
Exactly. What to expect? We have no idea. We have the whole night to figure that out. But sport mods, over 30 sport mods here tonight. B mods, what they call them all across the country. IMC modifieds make their return back to back. We got Model Lights. We've got senior mini dwarfs, junior mini dwarfs, IMC street stocks out here on the track. Bakersfield Speedway, the place to be on March 15th.
Oh, it's insane. And, you know, talking about the weather a little bit, a lot warmer than it was last week and out here. What will that do to the track?
It'll probably dry it up, so the track crew probably going to have to put water on it in between the heats and the mains. It depends on who you ask, whether they like it dry or heavy. It's all a guessing game.
So not quite what we saw last week when it got really tacky and stayed tacky at the end.
It might. I mean, there could have been plenty of moisture they put in it last night and even sometime today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bakersfield Speedway, March 15th, 2014, and we are green flag racing here for the first heat race of the night, with two Johnsons side by side down this 3-wide back straightaway. Jumping to an early lead in this stacked field of sport modifieds is number 40 of Nick Spainhoward. Sitting in the second spot, that's Daryl Hood. We call him the ringleader. And then in third, the 28P, John Piker. Sitting in the fourth position, the number C9 of Chad Reichenbach, the 223 of Lee Jensen, and we know why the number of 223. But that story is going to come a little bit later. We're going to save that one, make you kind of want it, you know what I'm talking about? In the fifth position, the 24 of Tyler Johnson. We have the 55, Matt Lewis, in the field tonight. The 11 of Chad Johnson, and rounding out the field, the 5K of Brenda Kirby. Kind of stringing out here early on, lap number 4 of 8. And the big number you have to pay attention to here is 3. The top 3 will transfer straight to the A main, and the rest have to go through one of 2 B main. A nice clean start to the night. And I know we're excited to bring it to you. Tommy Mason and I'm Jeffrey Best from Low Budget TV. You're watching it here on YouTube, where we post a bunch of stuff, a little bit of contact between the Johnsons, Tyler Johnson and Chad Johnson, going around with no caution. There's the caution with 1 lap to go. Nick Spainhoward, our leader, a little bit of a backup on the start.
The ringleader.
That's gonna make it really exciting. It looked like the ringleader got a bit of a jump in that number 2 on Spainhoward, but Spainhoward was like, I ain't going yet. Contact, and Chad Reichenbach, more contact. Hood getting hit and taking out the tire, and the tire is gonna finish ahead of Hood.
And in the wall go the tire.
Man. Yep. Right at the start-finish line. What's going on over here? How about this? Lee Jensen pulling it in to finish.
Jeff, I got a question for you.
2. Yes?
223.
Yeah.
What is that?
Okay, so we've seen that team, and what number have we seen with that team?
222.
All right, well, did you know that Lee Jensen, kind of the number he's always carried with him, is the number 23?
The Dragon Slayer's number, yep.
Yep, so they combined the 2 when they joined forces, and that's where 223 comes from.
I like it. That actually makes the most sense out of anybody I've heard.
Yeah, you made it almost sound not that surprising.
Heat race number 2, top 3 transfer in this one. On the pole, the number 3 AC, that is Levi Kiefer to his outside.
3
the 51
AC race best.
That's right. I like that. The 51 of Cruz Griffith, the 17 to his inside, that is Brian Terry, all new colors on that one. The 3 of Jared Schweitzer inside row 3, the 03, Danny Rowe, Eric Manning in the 14, Corey Elliott in the 11E, and Tina McGowan in the 32.
A much earlier start than we had in the first heat race. Apparently they did tell these guys which one's the transfer spot, and they're all battling for it right in this group right here.
There's the bubble.
Place.
Cruz Griffith being challenged to make it officially in to the A main off the heat races. He's now out, but now looking to try to do crossover on Brian Terry. Terry in the 17T makes it in.
Contact.
For now.
Oh, man.
Jared Schweitzer in the second spot. Remember, top 3 transfer out of this one into the A main. Everybody else behind third place goes directly to the B, and that's where we get busy. Over 30, I think 32 to be exact. Look at the spring bouncing, you can't see it, but there are the spring bouncing down the entire back straightaway.
So I imagine somebody lost something.
I believe it's property of the 17T, Brian Terry. Now that may or may not reflect his finish if it runs just the way it is. I'm not too sure on their ruling, but if the officials saw it, that might rule him DNF, so to speak. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, and I don't want to explain something that's not true.
This is a good race to be the number 3 in.
Yeah, you're right. Levi Kiefer, Jared Schweitzer, your top 2, 3 AC, and straight up number 3.
Now we have 2 Kiefers racing tonight.
We do we?
Levi Kiefer and Don Kiefer.
That's right. Don Kiefer in the NMRA Midgets. Corey Elliott sliding in contact with Danny Rowe. They keep it going, but Corey Elliott's fabricator's not going to like what happened. Dirt track racing, huh?
I don't know if you're a fabricator for a dirt anything. I don't know if you can really mind.
Well, as they run right now, unofficially, it's Levi Kiefer going to take the checkered flag. Jared Schweitzer coming up second, and Brian Terry taking the checkered flag. That's your top 3 going to the A main. And the rest, Cruise Griffith, Danny Rowe, Corey Elliott, Tina McGowan, and Eric Manning going to have to do some work through the B main event.
I just hope you're ready for B main.
Am I ready? Absolutely. Do I know what to expect? Not a clue.
And you know what? Now that we talk about B mains, where can people see the B mains? Obviously, they're watching the heat races here on YouTube, but they can get DVDs of the races tonight.
Very true. Main events all on DVDs here from this weekend, from past weekends. Get a hold of us here on Facebook. The link is down below in the description if you're on YouTube. And if not, it is LBTV Productions on Facebook. Now, there is a chance, much like last weekend's DVDs, where the B mains will go on YouTube. That's a bonus for you fans. It clearly didn't fit on the main DVD, so why hide something when we can give it to you? B mains may or may not be on DVD. I pretty much got it at that.
Getting ready for heat number 3, top 3 transfer. And starting us off on the front row, I believe that's the 74D.
Correct.
Of Ethan Dotson. And to his outside, the number 6, driven by Wayne Kelso. Getting ready for the green. This will be interesting. We've already damaged some cars' bodies. It's dirt track racing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Dotson leaning on Kelso. That's going to allow Griffith to slip by.
Kelso slipping all the way to the back. Car looks like it just quit running.
I don't think he was very happy with that start.
And we'll see if that brings out a caution. The way it is running right now, it looks like it will.
Number 12, James Cecil riding high.
Yellow.
And the yellow does come out.
Caution out for Kelso. I'm not too sure.
Well, if you look at his, I see the problem here. If you look at the right rear, he got something in one of his eyes.
Yep. And that's usually what happens. Who else is in this one, Jeffrey?
Who else is in this one? I mentioned the number 12 of James Cecil. We have the 16D of Rick Diaz.
Wait. Before you go too crazy, who's in the 84G?
Tommy, look at the 3AC. Do you see a problem?
I see smoke.
With the guy who won the last race?
He's got a bad habit, okay?
Okay. You got that right. The 74 machine of Wayne Dotson.
Who's in the 84G?
I said Kyle Griffith. I said that earlier.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah, I probably didn't actually. Everyone could just rewind.
Well, I do have bad hearing, so.
I have bad memory, so we're a great combo. The number 23M, that is Marvin Lease.
The Beast.
And rounding out the field, the number 9J, that is Jordan Hager.
Allergies it's been windy out here in Southern California. Allergies have been getting to me. So if you hear me talk like this with a deep voice, it totally sounds like I've been smoking for the past week. It's just my allergies. Good night, everybody. Restart. for the Sport Mod heat race. I would say that's a cleaner start, wouldn't you?
Just a little bit, yeah. Just a huge night of racing. And I know a lot of these drivers can relieve a lot of stress by making it into the main event in this race.
How about the main event, the transfer spot?
James Cecil has it, the number 12. Diaz in the 16D was making a bid for it. And now getting pressure from Dotson, but Cecil sideways out of 4, and he's going to run the apron. Look at the battle for the transfer spot.
Using the quarter mile and the third mile.
Hey, you never know. Could help.
So now Diaz has the spot. Dotson trying to get the spot around Cecil to even make an attempt for getting into the A main.
Hager also having a lot of issues way in the back, but Diaz holding on to the third spot. The real battle here is now for 4th. Wayne Dotson has the spot. Cecil slips back to 5th. Least the Beast trying to close it from behind. Now, from last week's heat races, I already see a major difference in the track. This track already is kind of looking like it's packed down a lot better. I mean, depending on your definition of better.
Yeah, very true. Drivers have their own definitions. You got one guy, he loves it heavy. You got the
transfer spot. Not to interrupt you, but here comes Wayne Dotson. What were you saying?
Basically, the drivers are the ones that have the biggest opinions on what is the best track, and they're all going to tell you differently.
Some of them lie, too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if Dotson wants to make it in the A main event, he has to get around Diaz this time by. The checkered flag is out for Ethan Dotson in the 74D, Griffith in the 84G, and it's going to be Diaz out of turn 4 in the 16D, moving on to the A main, and Dotson, Wayne Dotson, is going to have to work his way through the B.
So the son beating out the dad. Another heat race for the Sport Mods, a ton of Sport Mods that we've already pointed out. Here's another group of them, the 83 starting on the pole, Jason Nation. And who would be on his outside, the 16, the Outlaw, Ricky Childress, Kill Caking, the 33, the 09, Brylan Holder, the 23C, inside row 3, Dylan Hager, to his outside, Michael Black in the 89M, the 18 Machine, driven by Chris Harrington, and rounding out the field, the 20, Bruce Johnson.
Top 3 transfer.
So right now Holder has it, Kanky wants it, as well as Hager.
Ooh, Kanky slipped up. I thought we were going to send Hager into the wall.
Not the best start for that 89M. Michael Black, not sure what happened there. Kind of looked like the car hesitated, or maybe the driver was sleeping. But we have a battle for the transfer spot. Dylan Hager in that 23C machine, looking to the inside of Brylan Holder.
Noticing some new colors on Kel Kanky this year.
Yeah, he added some blue to it and some white. Car looks really good. Now, the last time we saw him racing, that car got squished on the front straightaway for a Sport Mod race. It was close to, I think, the second to last race of the season. That happens in Sport Mod racing. Battle for the transfer spot continues. Meanwhile, the Outlaw way out in front. Kind of just, to us, it looks like he's settled. Hager,
there was contact.
There definitely was. Hager muscling by. And now you have your new top 3. Holder in the 09, going to try everything he can to catch back up here on lap number 5. And I think we have a deck lid flew open. I love how it's literally jammed in the dirt.
Well, that's interesting.
And now we're going to see who that's from. I've never seen a deck lid literally shove itself in the clay, and I can't really tell who it's from.
I don't think
it might be an extra piece. Someone left it. There we go. So we'll be back for the restart. Go restart lap number 5.
They're saying it's from the 18 car,
Chris Harrington.
but maybe
hard
he
to
has
tell.
like the Michael Waltrip roof latch.
It's probably his entire roof, and we're just too dumb to look. The Outlaw out front, he's getting some pressure But the real pressure right there, battle for the transfer spot, the one position really to watch, one that makes or breaks potentially someone's night. White flag in the air for the Outlaw. Ricky Childress, who's been leading all of this race. If Hager knew what's going on in his rearview mirror, he would love what he sees.
Oh.
Holder not so much loving it. Holder's going to slip back. The Outlaw Ricky Childress takes the checkered nation third, and Hager, your top three.
That was almost big.
I just got to point this out, Jeffrey.
Yes.
Sport Mods, look at the competition already in the 30-plus cars. But look from this group who's going into the B main event. You have Johnson, Holder, Michael Black on his debut season out here at Bakersfield Speedway, Kel Kanku, who we've seen run up front, and Chris Harrington in the number 18 machine.
Hey, Tommy, look through the other races tonight.
Seriously.
I mean, like Wayne Dotson's going to be in there.
McGowan.
We've seen him win.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, all these drivers. But that's the nature of the beast out here at Bakersfield Speedway and the Sport Modifieds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, getting ready for the first heat race for the NMRA Midgets. Green flag in the air, and a really good field of these cars out here this weekend. Sometimes we'll see main events of about this size. So, some growth in the NMRA Midgets tonight, Tommy.
Great turnout and great racing series. Really action-packed. Oh, contact. We keep running.
In the lead right now, the number 5, Bruce Hiroshima. Closing in fast, though, like a bullet, is the number 43 of Britt Grissom.
New colors on that 43 machine.
Yeah, but not new colors on the number 9. In third place, Don Kiefer. And then in the 4th position, 21, Anthony LaPiccolo. 38, Chuck West, the number 55, driven by Dave Lambert, and rounding out this field, the 87 of Doyle Mosley. Ooh, drifting up for second. This is a great race so far in this heat race. Lap number 3. And Hiroshima holding them off. 3 wide for second, almost contact into turn number 1.
Open wheel, you don't want to make too much contact.
No, we're, Tommy and I grew up with asphalt racing. You're allowed to beat and bang there. I don't know how much you'll get away with it in this division, though. Piccolo up to second, Kiefer back to third, and comes the number 38 machine of Chuck West. I'm sure Fox Sports 1 has that issue more often than not. I mean, come on, it happens all the time.
Oh, yeah. Larry McReynolds probably always unplugs the microphone.
He probably does. Battle for the lead. It's Little Piccolo taking it away at the white flag. What a move by that 21 machine, just dive bombing it into turns 3 and 4, taking away the spot. And out of turn number 4, it's going to be Little Piccolo winning the heat race and having a good start to his Bakersfield
What
Speedway.
a start for the NMRA Midgets. Wow, that thing had racing all over the track.
Wait, it's not done yet.
No, I know.
Mosley taking the checkered.
Heat race number 2, the final heat race of the NMRA Midget. And we got some trouble at the start. How about I go through the starting lineup to eliminate some carnage? The 2P, Scott Dobson. The 66 machine, driven by Scott Niven. The 96, Kenny Wiley. The 36 of West Evans. The 40 machine, who Jeffrey and I talked about when he rolled on track, not on camera, but now on camera. The number 40 machine, Chris Thomas, who is just begging for a Dr. Pepper logo on it. And rounding out the field, the number 22 machine, driven by Jonathan St. Clair. Looks like Anthony LoPiccolo's old car. It even said it on the roll cage there.
If this was a sport mod race, this would be the battle for the transfer spot.
That's very true. Niven going to the inside of now a smoking number 2. I think we know why that car kind of fell off pace. Scott Dobson. Dobson's going to bring out a caution here, lap number 3. He's definitely not a happy camper. And I couldn't blame him. 3 laps into his day, and it looks to be done.
Tommy?
Yes.
They have a saying. When you're hot, you're hot. And when you're not, you move your race car like a wheelchair.
Here we go for the restart lap number 3. Niven out front. We go green. Evans, Wiley, Thomas, and the 22. I want to say LaPiccolo, and for obvious reasons, but it's Jonathan St. Clair, and I believe it's the first time we've ever seen Jonathan St. Clair on track here at the Bakersfield Speedway. So, welcome in front of Low Budget TV's camera.
Tommy, what happened to Kenny Wiley?
I have no idea. I think he just didn't get out much in the winter, and kind of shed some of his tan. Going completely opposite paint scheme almost, from dark to light. I just want to know if the 2 machine of Dobson can make it back out.
Tommy, almost looks like there's a rut developing over here in turn 1.
We'll find out which. Niven's going to get the white flag. Let's take a look going into turn 1, and no one's going to give us a fair. Wait. There we go. No,
See, it's just
a huge
right.
clay.
It looks like a scratch.
And a checkered flag out for the 66 of Scott Niven, and we've got another smoker. Thomas looks to be finishing the race. Could this be fatigue number 2 of the night? He makes it across the line. Chris Thomas in the 40. West Evans in the 36 finishing 2nd, and Kenny Wiley in the 96 finishing 3rd. That might be, he's still driving. So hopefully it might just be a cap that came loose or something.
More heat races coming up next. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we're 3 wide already for the junior mini Dwarfs, getting ready to go racing out here. Leading us away, the 86 of Madison Myers, the 17 of Kersey Young, the 19 B of Bailey Thompson, making a move for the lead on the outside.
Good save.
The number 32 sprint car of Case and Sylvester, the 1 of Kylie Forster making a mad move to the outside, and rounding out the field, the 23.5 of Shane Bowles. Tommy, this track looks a little bit different than the last time you and I were here.
Yeah, they've kind of done some improvements down the front straightaway. We'll get to that as we go 3 wide for spot number 3.
Yeah, we might see the improvements come into play right about now. Right
We're
about
stuck.
now.
We're stuck.
And there's the improvements. They added parking here at Bakersfield Speedway.
They have.
Yeah, so they put some curbs. You also see the banners, which is a very smart idea to put those banners there. So a couple more sponsors getting some recognition, as well as maybe a little bit more safety in place, maybe to try to stop these cars from just going head on into one of the walls. So a couple improvements here on the, what size track would you call that, 10th mile?
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. And I got to spotlight the 23.5 number.
Yes, please do.
That is awesome.
Shane Bowles in the 23.5, and check this out. We have ages on everyone. Guess how old the driver in the 23.5 is?
I would guess 10.5.
5.5? No, just, oh, well, maybe.
Wow. I wonder what the age is between both, but 5 years old, and you can get racing out here at Bakersfield Speedway and or probably
now
track near you.
Now, that was based on the writing of Mike Mosier.
The legend
here. The legend at Bakersfield Speedway.
The race doctor. If ever you need a prescription.
19B.
That guy right there.
If ever you need, I swear. His voice is as big as...
It radiates, man.
It's true.
It radiates.
If ever you need a racing prescription, please visit the Racing Doctor, located in Bakersfield, California, every Saturday night.
I can't do it.
Bakersfield Speedway. So the tow vehicle pushing off to 86, or at least a tow person. Something not happening with that 86 for whatever reason.
That car almost went full throttle into the field and then into the curb. It got exciting, didn't it?
Kind of like it didn't have any brakes or something. We go green, Thompson out front.
I think it had more. I think when they, or I believe Madison, hit the brake pedal, the gas pedal, engaged, battle for the lead. Forrester to the outside of Thompson, and the 32 of Sylvester trying to close in.
We've got 2
Oh, the 23.5.
And
I wasn't sure if that car was going to make the turn. It did. Look at the battle for the lead, though. And lap traffic to boot. Here we go. Into turn number 1. This is where the fans get their money's worth. Oh, some debris on the racetrack. Here we go. Who's it going to be? Making the move. Kylie Forrester going for the lead. Bailey Thompson off the pace. And Kersey Young gets by.
Gotta love the fabrication that goes into these mini dwarfs, Jeffrey. We've got a modified leading a sprint car.
Yeah, we do. And they're slowing them down, courtesy of, I believe, Aaron Stewart's dad.
There he is.
Check that out.
The flagman, the photographer,
and father. Flagman, photographer, father.
The 3 F's you need in life.
Going back to green. Green flag in the air, lap number 4 of 8.
We have a report from the NASCAR official behind us
That the caution flag's back out.
because the 19B threw out a chain.
Tommy, I figured out what's going on with the 23.5 machine of Shane Bowles.
What's that?
If you see some smoke trailing from that car, they're actually also practicing on their campfire badge.
Is that right?
Yeah, which is great for a 5-year-old to learn, you know, if ever in the wild. But I will give credit, and where credit's due. Truly, Shane Bowles is doing a fantastic job of keeping that car clean.
Yep.
And especially keeping that car clean during the cautions. We know that's sometimes the hardest part.
Very true. You see more carnage during the cautions.
We do.
That's a good-looking mini dwarf, though.
I love the number. I love that car.
I do too. Then we got Young here in the 17, A1 Spring and Supply, all kart sponsored mini dwarf. We go green, but we have a battle for the lead this entire race. Maybe not anymore.
Not a great start for Sylvester Ung, and they're going to get together. Good save by Young. And Sylvester really closing in on Forrester. The checkered flag going to come out for Forrester, and we have a Ford Bronco crossing the line. Now,
I don't think even OJ drove his Bronco on Bakersfield Speedway. Jeffrey? Yes. Jason's got something to say.
yes?
The 23.5 is going to be crying because I just told him that he has to get off the track.
Okay, for the record.
Whoa, wait a minute. We've got a backwards driver on the track. Oh, no.
This kid is my hero.
23.5 is trying to get his half lap back.
Now, Shane Bowles, Jason pointed this out, had not stopped racing once the checker flew, and we only realized this about 3 or 4 laps after the race was over. So,
hey, it's all about laps.
it's experience.
It's about laps.
I'm not dogging it at all.
Hey, there's some drivers that could always use more laps. All right, Jeffrey, let's go through the starting line.
I was just going to point out that we have a good pack of fans out here tonight.
And the weather is perfect. We're still in our
is.
T-shirts and loving life right now here at the Bay. It's almost like we're on vacation because we always our life is a vacation. Out front, Kate McClenny in the number 05. Another green car on the field, the number 2, Jacob Carey. And then we break it up with a blue car, the number 10 of Garrett Egan. Then we're back to green in the number 3 of Mason Ratcliffe. I'm loving all the cars that are green, Jeffrey. Very, very colorful field of mini dwarfs here this season. And then we're going to round out the field with the number 4 of Cade Lewis in the 4 and hitting the parking curbs and stuck.
I will be the first to admit that in no way are we laughing at the misfortunes of the 4 car. I'm more laughing at the fact that the curb went with them.
Yeah. Like, I haven't even ever done that in my Toyota Camry yet. But I have something to aim for. Wheelie on that number 4 of Lewis.
Airtime award goes to the 4 car.
Cade Lewis winning the Airtime Award.
You know what might have been Cade Lewis's issue in all this?
What's that?
Something up here.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, I do see it. That's your field of junior mini dwarfs. I believe we're getting ready to go back to green. 1 to go as they cross the line, Jeffrey.
Yes.
We've got a new pace vehicle. Usually it's like a utility cart.
You're right.
This season it seems to be a quad. What would you prefer to drive?
Is that Brett Bodine?
That could be Brett Bodine.
It probably is. I think I would prefer to just drive a mini dwarf.
They should have a mini dwarf with lights. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Here we go. Never mind.
And now it's one to go. I lied to everybody. It's hard to see hand signals.
Oh, man. Tommy,
Yeah.
we've seen a lot of racing on this track in the last couple of years.
Yes, we have.
And what is it about the mini Dwarfs that has won your heart?
You know what? I truly enjoy the fact to see these kids grow up into the future superstars here at Bakersfield Speedway as we go green. I think it's fun to watch them learn, and hopefully they can come back and watch us talk about them and hopefully knock us over the side of the head. But also the fact that they can look back and point out and say, hey man, I grew up racing at Bakersfield Speedway. Now I'm driving, let's say, a modified or hobby stock or stuff like that. You know, it's really cool to see. I mean, we've already seen the progression between people like Brylan Holder and the likes of those drivers. So it is really cool. Ethan Dotson, one of them, that's grown from the mini Dwarfs.
Sideways.
Garrett Egan dirt tracking it on a dirt track. White flag is out for your field of junior minis. Contact going into turn 1.
It's the big one.
Through turns number 3 and 4, the 05 of Cabe McClenny taking the checkered flag. Over the number 2 machine of Jacob Carey, and rounding out your top 3, the number 10, driven by Garrett Egan.
I was just going to show off our beautiful view.
That is a nice sunset going down here tonight in Bakersfield Speedway. And if ever you're in the area of Bakersfield Speedway on a Saturday night between now and the middle of October, you've got to make a visit out here at the Bakersfield Speedway. One of the most fun dirt tracks I think we've ever been to, Jeffrey, without a doubt.
Hey, it's kind of hard to argue that one.
Here we go, Street Stocks, race number 1.
It's IMCA Super Streets,
That's right.
IMCA Super Stocks, or IMCA Street Stocks, whatever you folks would prefer. Jumping to the lead, the 68J of Billy Simpkins.
Brady Bell in the 54. You got Clay Daly in the 11, the 04 Tim Randolph, and rounding out the field, the number 5 of...
I just wanted to see how far you could go. Wayne Kaufman.
I couldn't get farther than Kaufman.
Battle for the second spot between the number 11 machine, M11 of Clay Daly, and the 54, like Tommy said, Brady Bell. Or as I have written down, Brady Bell. We have one car off the pace down the back straightaway as we also have a battle for the lead. Bell to the lead, and the number 5 of Kaufman off the pace. Looks like he'll get it off.
Whoa, look at Daly throwing it in the corner for the second spot.
Oh man, if there's one division out here that, for as many cars as they don't have, they make up for it in excitement.
Oh yeah. Definitely one of the most exciting divisions to watch out here.
Oh yeah.
And we're fortunate we get them as many times a year.
So Bell working on a lead here on lap number 5. The big battle for third between Simpkins and Randolph.
By the way, I just want to point out to everybody, we have all 4 cars running in the screen. To show how competitive this division is.
No, you've convinced me.
At points. Now Randolph's not helping.
White flag in the air for Bell. Daly second, Simpkins third, and Randolph fourth. Again with the number 5 machine with some mechanical issue for Kaufman. Now to turn number 4, it's going to be Bell all the way. Taking the win. Should be a good setup for that driver in the A main.
Should be. Up next, another heat race.
What?
IMCA Street Stocks heat number 2. On track now, the number 14 of Lonnie Welch to his outside, the number 30, K, Billy Stevens, go green, Chad Weber in the 37 machine, and rounding out the field, the number 7, B, Johnny Bedingfield. Lonnie Welch out front in this one. Field pretty much settled in, it almost seems like. Oh, we got body panels falling off. From the 37 machine, that looked like, and that would be his right front fender.
Don't need that.
Doesn't seem to be hurting him any. He's still in second spot, about the same distance between the 14-year leader and the 33rd place.
Boy.
Stevens.
We talked a bit to that group.
Yeah, we did. Bedingfield and Stevens. Stevens kind of having to burp off the throttle there to regain control of turn number 1 and 2. That was going to put Bedingfield right up to battle, but Stevens got a hold of it and is now making time over Bedingfield.
Well, Lonnie Welch has had no issue in this series.
The car's looking smooth and fast so far here on lap number 5 of 8. Should it go when they cross the line? Chad Weber in the second spot, in the number 37. We've seen some mixed runs out of him last year. Looking very good so far in this heat race. Another car that's smooth and fast. And then there's a big gap between second and third. Out of turn number 4, collecting the checkered flags in the second heat race, Lonnie Welch. Chad Weber coming home second, and Billy Stevens finishing third. And hey, Bedingfield might not have won the race, but he put on a hell of a show on that last lap. Full moon night, who knows what's going to happen in the mains?
Oh, who knows what's going to happen in the rest of the heats.
Heat race number 1 for the senior mini dwarfs. And we're going crazy at the start. All over the place we go. Out front, TM3, Troy Martz third to this. Oh, we got the 9 car spun out. Second spot and a battle for the lead brewing up here. We got the number 17 machine. Anthony Balgazar. Oh, Pulley getting taken out in the 77. That'll be some contact with the 33. Brock McLaughlin, 77, Mikey Bully getting going again. And the number 9 rounding out the field. Carson McKinley battle for the lead down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Balgazar and Morris duking it out through turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Side by side for the lead through turns number 3 and 4. It's a full lap of battles. And Morris scored the leader on that lap. Balgazar getting by. And a new leader here on lap number 5 as they cross the line. Green flag is out. Or green, wow. I got to learn my colors. White flag in the air. McKinley spinning it out. And your winner, Anthony Balgazar, in heat number 1 of the senior mini dwarfs. That race was wild from the start. Senior mini dwarf heat race number 2. The number 23 on point of Caden Cochran. We go green. The number 92, Riley Millard. 14 machine driven by J.D. Brown. And we got the number 8 of Jeremy Clark. 00, Cheyenne Flippo, and the 68, Sonny Simpkins. That's your field here of the senior mini dwarf heat race number 2. Battle for the second spot, Miller, Brown, and Clark. Meanwhile, Cochran out front of this one. Field pretty spread out on this one so far. Millard catching up to Cochran here. Battle for the lead, Bruin here on lap number 3.
Down, 3 to go. Cheyenne Flippo in that A1 Printed Supply 00 machine. Back in the back of the field. Great battle.
Whoa, we got Brown slipping wide. Clark following. Sonny Simpkins trying to make a pass around Jeremy Clark. But I got to keep my eye on Riley Millard in the number 92 machine. Looking for our way around Cochran's 23 machine. White flag in the air.
Riley Millard sweeps up high out of turn number 2. loses some ground. Winner of heat race number 2 for the Real Fast.TV Senior.
And the 23K taking the checkered flag. Caden Cochran beating out Millard and Brown. All right, and it seems like this will be the final heat race for the Senior Mini Dwarfs. The number 76 starting on the pole, Chloe Jones. The number 20 machine, that is driven by Steven Johnson. The number 81 machine, Danny Cephas, I believe is what Jeffrey wrote down, so I got to go with it. He's not up here right now. Jerry Flippo in the number 13 machine. And rounding out the field, the number 34 car. In the back of the field of Cassidy Claiborne. So we got the number 76 out in front of this one. Right here, it's a brand new car. Chloe Jones breaking it in right.
Second position. Sorry about that, guys.
And leading this one. So looking pretty good here for that brand new machine. Chloe goes way wide contact. They keep it running. Lap traffic, Claiborne. And that'll make a battle for the lead. And a lead change, but now it's going to be a re-change. And Johnson spinning it out. Look at this battle for the lead. White flag is out. Cephas, Jones, and Flippo. Claiborne right there in the mix. Chloe Jones takes the lead and takes the win here on a wild lap traffic involved battle for the lead race. Flippo will move up into the second spot, and the number 81 is Cephas finishing third. Heat race number 1 for the IMCA Mid-Cal Fabrication Modifieds. Brad Pounds on the point for this one. The 2J Justin Schweitzer, the 1X Steve Streeter, the 00 Kyle Heckman, the 51B Brian Clark, the 97 J Marks, and rounding out the field, the number 18C Chris McKellar. Got a field ready to go green. IMCA Modified Heat number 1. Looks like Steve Streeter not able to get into turn 1 like he'd like. Clark having hit the brakes. Pounds, your early leader. J Marks last weekend in the main event, coming from 12th up to the second spot. He had a lot of work cut out for him. He got it done. Was not able to get the win, but hey, he felt like he had won it after that one. Brad Pounds, if you want to go back to last week, DNF'd on lap number 3. Spit the drive shaft out. Who else knows what other kind of damage occurred? And Pounds leads here again on lap number 3. Schweitzer in the second spot. The 00, the newly numbered number 00. Kyle Heckman. We might have a battle brewing here. Looks like Schweitzer has some run on that 15B machine. Schweitzer, though, getting some airtime going into turn number 3. That helps Brad Pounds lead. J Marks, Clark, McKellar, and Streeter coming across the line. Here on lap number 5, 2 to go when they cross the line. Brian Clark, that 51B machine looked fast in hot laps. I think he might have something up his sleeves here. I wouldn't put it past him.
Neither would I.
He's been picking it up. White flag for Brad Pound in the 15B machine. Your champion of 2013 here at the Bakersfield Speedway. And turn number 4 will take the heat race number 1 win over Schweitzer and Heckman. Look at that finish there for 4th. Marks holding off over Clark.
I've just been so speechless ever since we got to the Senior Mini Dwarfs, Tommy.
Yeah. That goes to show how long the lines was. Or where. It depends on how much you beat everybody up.
It's the men's room.
It's number 2 for the IMCA Mid-Cal Fabrication Modifieds. Jeffrey, who's in this one?
You just told me not to talk.
I told you now to talk.
I think we're fighting.
We might be.
The 14B of Steve Bull's going to start his way. Brett Bennett, who went for a wild ride in his 5B machine in the main event last week, he's back on track and looking to make up for some lost time.
No more smoking on that 14B machine. Congratulations.
That's good. Streeter on the inside and the 1X.
Oh!
Streeter hitting the tire.
Wow.
Getting air.
That's going to bring out a caution, but that was one of the most exciting moves I've ever seen in a heat race.
Wow.
He got air. He wheelied.
He did. Also filling up this heat race, the 29 of Scott Gatson, the 198 of Robbie Sawyer, and the 90 of Freddie Davis. Holy cow.
I just want to see how much damage there is to Bowles, maybe. Were the Bowles that he got into? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Let's take a look to the left side. As if nothing hit it.
Yeah. However, Streeter, you can tell he
Broke.
tried to drive over a tractor. And green flag back in the air. Lap number 1 restart. Brett Bennett taking the lead. A little bit of sparks flying from that car.
Nothing the wall can't fix.
I'm sure he'll appreciate that one.
Hey, you know what? It was so cool, though, I got to say. And he could have been BSing us, and he probably was. But we asked him, we said, hey, what did you think of that ride last week when we went up on 2 wheels, basically riding on the wall? And he goes, dude, you know what? I enjoyed it. And that's when we started getting a kick out of Brett Bennett.
Oh, yeah, he thought he was going to flip over, and he had a smile on his face.
He did. Oh, now he's killing our camera. There we go. Robbie Sawyer in the second spot. He might be making time.
Yeah, he got around Steve Bowles and is just foot to the floor.
What's the observation that you've seen so far between this week and last week's heat race out of that 14B?
I can see it.
Yeah, and so can everybody behind him. Scott Gatson in the 29 last week.
We have no more mosquitoes in Bakersfield. I don't know if that's an observation of that car or of what the result of that car was.
The 3 of these drivers, I believe, well, I should say 3. We have a battle for the lead road. But the 29 and the 14 got piled up in turns number 1 and 2 last week due to, I guess, antifreeze.
Gatson on the outside of Bowles. You know, Tommy Bowles, we talked about how things were looking better, but that car seems to be losing some power.
Yeah, it does. Going down. White flag, battle for the lead.
Definitely loss of power for the 14 of Steve Bowles. Battle for the lead between Bennett and Sawyer. Bowles trying to hold on to the 4th position, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Out of turn number 4, Brett Bennett, 5B, going to take the win in the heat race. Sawyer 2nd, and Bowles will lose the spot to Freddie Davis. Going to fight back a little bit. There's just no power down the straightaways for that car.
Does it sound funny? Listen. Yeah, he's pulling it off. Now, very strong heat race by that 5B.
And they did say that the issue last week was that there was a something with the...
There's a whole bunch of oil leaks all over.
Yeah, there was a big hole that they needed to fill up.
That was a strong heat race by that 5B, Brett Bennett.
10-4, good Bennett.
Here we go, heat race number 3, I think?
7.
Of the Mid-Cal Modifieds on track now. Roger Holder leading them away. Larry Hood in the 222. We got a hot battle for 3rd. Now a battle for the lead and for 3rd.
It's battle for everything.
Everything's a battle. Randall Davis in the 101. Cody Laney in the 5L making a move to the inside of Roger Holder, actually making a bid for the lead. And then the number 11 machine running out this field, R.C. Whitwell.
Seeing some smoke coming from the 2.
You see some damage off that left front hood. I don't know if it's damage. I think the hood pin came apart. It's trying to fly.
Yeah, Tommy, it's your favorite.
Hey, you know what? Modifieds normally have hoods, but even that is coming off.
What a battle in this heat race.
Yeah, it is. Cody Laney in that 5L trying everything he can to get around Holder. At one point trying to pass them both at the same time. They're still battling it out. The West Coast Wild Man and the 5L, who I don't think we have a nickname for yet. At least I haven't heard of one, have you? Have you heard Cody Laney ever have a nickname?
The L-Man. That's a good one, you agree? No, I don't actually know. You know, I heard them, I forget who it was, but they called someone the surfer dude, and I immediately was like, Sean Monroe's here?
Yeah, look at this battle for the second spot. Sean Monroe, an asphalt racer over at Mason Marin. Number 48 machine. Surfer Dude Sean Monroe is his nickname, and I believe they called the Surfer Dude Brian Clark in the 51B.
Yes, that was the one.
Larry Hood out front, making time over Cody Laney. Don't let the hood fool you. Your winner out of turn number 4, Larry Hood.
See, he had the right hood pin come off, that's for sure. Because that's the side that sees the least amount of air.
Very true. Down, hey, you know what?
Unlike an asphalt.
Race prep, Tara Henry always has something up his sleeve. You know that.
You know what?
You know what? It was probably the ringleader's idea. Come on now.
If there's anything to believe, I'd believe it.
Probably the ringleader.
Getting ready for a new division here at the Bakersfield Speedway. Not the first time they've graced the Speedway, but the first time in competition. It is the Mod Lights. Mid-Cal Fabrication Mod Lights. No, it's Mid-Cal Fabrication Modifieds.
I was going to say, the 5/8 scale version of the...
Sounded good though, didn't it?
It did. It might have been convincing. The 5/8 scale version of the IMCA Modifieds, if you will.
Now there's going to be a little bit of confusion, and that's why we're here. If you look at this race, you're going to say, you know, one of those cars, like the leader, looks like a Dwarf car. That is a Dwarf car. Oh, one car upside down over turn 2. Mod Light flipping over. I believe it's the 17 machine of Tim Varney.
Well, I got the end of that rollover because I was trying to see who Ira Henry was.
Anywhere from 1,000 to 1,300
Wow.
cc.
That was a tumbler.
Well, welcome to the Mod Lights. We made it one lap in Mod Light competition here at Bakersfield Speedway before we had to flip. That's pretty good.
Looks like the 17, okay. And honestly, it seems like that car might
Just
be able
continue.
to continue.
Oh, man.
Like, I don't think there's a damaged wheel on that thing at all.
Well, let's go through the rest of the field. The 54 machine over there, guess who that is, Tom? I want you to guess who the 54
If I were to guess, Jeffrey, I would say, off the top of my head, Mike Gilmore.
John Piker.
Really? The reason why I said Mike Gilmore is because he ran in the exhibition in the 54. John Piker in the 54, your 2013 Sport Mod champion.
It's funny because you could actually see his driver suit.
Yeah, you could. I see there's Chewy stains on it.
And then we have other cars in the field. The number 50 of Ricky Lewis. The number 11 of Dave Dotson. And like you were mentioning, the 13 of Ira Henry in the Dwarf car. Now, they said, hey,
Might
you know
as well time to explain you.
Tommy?
What did I say?
Tommy.
I'm telling you, that thing rolled over on its body more than anything else.
No, don't pull off. The race isn't over yet.
I wouldn't be surprised if just peel off body panels.
I think that car might be back.
All right, so explain, why is the 13 machine in here?
So basically, some of the Dwarf cars out there, the Dwarf Cars series is a touring division, and some guys don't have the money. Some guys and girls don't have the money that some of those touring drivers do. So they, I guess, inquired, hey, is it okay if we run with you guys? I guess the specs are close enough that they said that shouldn't be a big deal. I don't know what the technicalities of it all is. Like, I don't know if the 13 Dwarf car wins the main event, if they're awarded the win. That much information I don't have. However, we're racing, and I don't think these guys would care if there was a World of Outlaw car on the track. They still want to beat it.
Very true.
4 cars left in this heat race, the first one, and the second to last one of the night. Mod Lights taking us away. Again, Ira Henry in the lead, Ricky Lewis. It's kind of funny because a week ago we saw Ricky Lewis.
At a banquet.
Yeah, at a banquet for an asphalt track when he won a championship in a Bandolero. So he's doing a lot of dirt this year.
Oh, Henry's slipping.
The 54 car has an issue. I don't know what it is, but it's an issue. It's like the car was kicking in and out of power. So the 54 machine of John Piker off track. Henry tried to make a move on Lewis. Lewis looking, I think Lewis wants to win this heat race.
I think he does. Car looking fast. Last time they were out here, they spun out a bunch, and the reason why they did that is because they primarily raced at Ventura Raceway, Ventura, California, and so they had an exhibition race out here, and they pretty much brought the cars exactly to set up for Ventura to Bakersfield. Now, Bakersfield is a bigger track than Ventura, considerably bigger.
Yes.
And it's funny that sounds. And so with the setup they had in it, these cars would spin out pretty much every corner. But it looks like they got it going on now.
And that's probably also part of why they had an exhibition, was to get an idea of what kind of setup they need to put on these cars. So when they get here, they're racing to not spin.
True.
Well, Ricky Lewis looking really good for the first heat race. I was just going to point out how kind of a cool situation this is. In the next heat race, we're going to see someone by the name of Kim Lewis.
Who would that be?
That would be Ricky's mom.
Oh, boy, hang on to it.
Oh, it is going to be a race to the checkered Ricky.
You got Ricky excited when you talked about it.
I did. I think I did. I was just going to say how cool it is. You don't often hear about mother-son racing.
Very true.
So we'll see that tonight.
I think you kind of scared Ricky there on that last lap.
Well, I mentioned his mother, and he probably was like, oh, crap, I didn't clean my room.
Heat race number 2 for the Modelites. Kim Lewis in the 32 is leading them away. The number 5 to the outside of Chris Cornder. There we go. And then the third spot is the number 14 machine, Jeff Fry. I had to read through that one in the lens. And then rounding out the field, the number 13, Jerry Flippo.
I'm going to ask you a quick question.
Please.
First off, why did you say my name funny? You called me Jeff Fry.
Jeffrey.
It's Jeffrey.
I'm sorry, okay?
Okay.
I didn't know you were driving the number 5 today.
And second,
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were driving the number 14.
And second, what is the mini Dwarf doing here?
You know what? That one grew up. It grew up. Hey, Miracle Grow in the wintertime.
Okay. I can buy that. Both literally and figuratively.
Modelites could be the next up-and-coming division out here at Bakersfield Speedway. We've already heard from a few of these drivers that are racing today that some of them have been selling pretty quickly.
So we mentioned Kim Lewis in the last heat race after Ricky took the win. Almost lost it, actually, out of turn 4.
Yeah, very true. I think
so
he scared
this is
him.
Ricky's mom.
Kim Lewis and the 32 machine.
Just a cool story all over.
That is cool. Yeah, like you said, usually it's father-son, not mother-son.
Yeah.
Duos at the racetrack. Out front in this one, Jeff Fry and that number 14.
There you go again.
Yeah, the big lead over second spot, the number 5, Chris Cornder. Kim Lewis in third, and Jerry Flippo. I'm excited for this main event, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
We saw an exhibition last race, but I think we're going to see a heck of a race in this one.
Well, we already rolled over one.
Yeah, definitely the most exciting heat race of the night, presented by the Modelites. White flag in the air, Jeff Fry.
That was a hiccup.
In the number 14 will take the checkered flags out of turn number 4. Your winner in the Modelites, heat race number 2, rounding out the top 3. Actually, you know what? Let's round out the whole race. The 5 of Corner, the 32 of Lewis, and the 13F of Flippo.
Now, Tommy, that's a wrap on the heat races, Low Budget TV. Again, folks, a lot of exciting main events, and if you'd like to see them, Low Budget TV DVDs, you can find the link in the description. We're on Facebook. That's where we handle a lot of our transactions, so to speak.
We got a question, by the way, last week, and it was a great question. If you don't have a Facebook, or a book for your face, as the email said, which is hilarious, you can always email us at lbtvmail@yahoo.com. Give us an email. We'll respond right away.
We can put that link in the description, too.
Hey, you know what? You're giving me more work than I need, friend.
Hey, you know what? It's time for main events.